Okay, so yesterday afternoon we worked from like 3 o'clock until 8 o'clock, and we were able to get the head off of the truck. And once again, I completely forgot to record that. So the head is off the truck. Right now it is sitting over here. What I need to do is remove the studs from this head, put them on the new head when it arrives, and then prep the new head, prep all the surfaces. The other thing that we found was this is the piece of the exhaust manifold where the gasket broke. You can see a bunch of the gasket is missing right there and right there. And we need to scrape the rest of it off. But we found that this piece is supposed to be attached to this rod right here, and it is no longer attached. It appears as though the rod got stuck and it was no longer pivoting like it was supposed to, and then this broke off. So that could be what's been contributing to the thing not running right. Now, this is supposed to be some sort of exhaust gas recirculation system. I am not sure entirely how it all works, but basically it's supposed to help the truck warm up faster. And so you can see right there where it snapped. So the first thing I need to do is get this rod out, figure out how to do that, and then see if I can put this thing back together, because I already tried to get a new exhaust manifold because of all the cracks that we had to have welded and the piece that broke off the last time we worked on the truck. But we can't find an exhaust manifold, so we have to figure out how to repair this one. Okay, so this tool right here is something you've seen before, possibly. So I normally use it, I stick it over the end of a breaker bar or ratchet, and then I can put an extension in there and use it as a handle extender to give me a little more torque. But what this tool is actually supposed to be used for is for removing these studs. So you put the tool on the stud like that, and then you turn the little wheel thing to tighten it up. Then you stick a breaker bar in the end, and then it grips the stud, and you can turn it and it broke off. Probably should have sprayed that first, but I was thinking that it was probably still loose enough from when we did it last time, but apparently not. But theoretically, this is supposed to prevent it from breaking off. And you can see that maybe you can see that this one's bent, but it is bent. So we're probably going to be replacing all of these with bolts, just like we did for the front two that we broke off before. So, the two fun parts or exciting parts, or in some cases stressful parts, are getting the head off and getting the head back on, but also getting all of the accessories undone. But there's this part in the middle which is really important, that is going through cleaning everything, lubricating things, making sure that your gaskets have a nice place to seal, and that is the part that I am on now. You saw me cleaning up the exhaust manifold. Now, it's a lot easier this time because the things are still pretty clean from last time, but it's still important to go through. I'm going to be going through each of these, cleaning threads on all the bolts, all the fittings, make sure that the fittings turn easily on their own. Going to be cleaning up the surface of the head, but also the side cover, and whatever else I happen to come across. One interesting thing that I found yesterday is I found an extra data plate on the engine. Now, it was covered in masking tape and was painted the same color as the engine, so it looks like when they painted the engine, they masked it off, but then they never took it off again. They never took the masking tape off, so it was covered up, and I didn't see it until now. But basically it has the serial number of the engine, which I already gathered from the serial number plate that's right near the dipstick. But it has the serial number. It also tells me that they rebuilt this engine, completely overhauled it at TEAD, T-E-A-D, in November of 1972. And when they did that, they kept it as a standard bore. They didn't bore it out at all. So yeah, just some really interesting and useful data that I found on this engine. So if you look at this block here, you'll see that there's an outline around the cylinder of this different looking metal. So here we have the block, and then there's this extra metal here. That is called a sleeve, and what that does is it makes this engine a lot tougher. They can put in these sleeves, and then if the sleeve gets damaged at all, instead of having damage straight to the block, the damage is on the sleeve, and you can replace the sleeves. So that's just a really interesting detail. But yeah, everything looks good. None of the pistons appear to be too shiny. These middle ones do have a bit more of a sheen to them, but the cylinder walls all look good. There's no buildup on them, and yeah, everything else looks pretty good. So I did end up taking the distributor off and taking this side cover off because we needed to replace the side cover gasket this time because it broke. Last time my plan was to take off the side cover and replace the side cover gasket, but when I saw that we needed to remove the distributor, I didn't want to do it anymore because I really didn't want to mess with the timing. Now I've taken every precaution, made sure to pull the distributor straight out, and so it shouldn't mess up the timing at all. I can just stick it right straight back in. but the distributor has to come off to take that side cover off because of these studs. If it weren't for those studs, you could remove the side cover without removing the distributor, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, but so with that, I am going to get back to work. There's really not much to what I'm doing. I'm just using the scrapers to scrape off any of the old gasket material, using shop towels to clean it, along with PB blaster, possibly brake clean if there's something that's really stuck, sandpaper if I need to remove any rust or anything, and that's about it.